Eating whole grain bread every morning could be slowly killing you. I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me because what I'm about to show you might completely change how you think about heart-healthy foods. There are 3 foods sitting in your kitchen right now that doctors have been recommending for decades, but new research reveals they're actually triggering silent inflammation that's damaging your arteries. If you've been experiencing unusual fatigue after meals, swelling in your legs, or that uncomfortable chest tightness when you climb stairs, your body might already be trying to warn you. Don't click away because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly which foods are betraying your heart, the warning signs most people completely miss, and 3 simple swaps that can start protecting your cardiovascular system today. Drop a comment right now if you've been told any of these foods are good for your heart, because what you're about to learn will probably shock you. Here's what most people don't realize about so-called heart-healthy foods. The biggest threat to your cardiovascular system after 60 isn't necessarily the obvious culprits like bacon or fried foods. It's the foods that have been marketed as healthy choices that are secretly triggering chronic inflammation throughout your body. Inflammation is now recognized as one of the primary drivers of heart disease, and these 3 foods are some of the worst offenders. Let me start with whole grain bread and cereals. You've probably been told for years that whole grains protect your heart. But here's the problem that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Most commercial whole grain products are loaded with refined sugars, preservatives, and processing agents that spike your blood sugar just as dramatically as white bread. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 8,000 adults and found that highly processed grain products, even those proudly labeled as whole grain, increased inflammatory markers by up to 40% in people over 60. When your blood sugar spikes repeatedly throughout the day, it's like taking sandpaper to the delicate inner lining of your arteries. Each spike creates tiny injuries where plaque can grab hold and start building up. Think of it this way: if you kept scraping the inside of a garden hose with rough material, eventually you'd create weak spots and blockages. That's exactly what's happening inside your cardiovascular system every time you eat these processed grain products. The second food that's probably sitting in your refrigerator right now is low-fat dairy products. Low-fat yogurt, skim milk, reduced-fat cheese. We've been brainwashed into thinking that removing the fat makes these foods heart-healthy. But here's what happens when manufacturers strip away the natural fats. They have to add something back to maintain taste and texture, so in go the sugars, artificial sweeteners, stabilizers, and chemical additives. A landmark study from Harvard School of Public Health followed over 3,000 adults for 15 years and discovered something that completely contradicts conventional wisdom. People who consumed low-fat dairy products had significantly higher rates of heart disease compared to those who ate full-fat versions in moderation. The third hidden heart destroyer is fruit juice and natural beverages. Even 100% fruit juice, yes, even the expensive organic kind that costs $8 a bottle, delivers a massive sugar bomb to your system without any of the fiber that would normally slow down absorption. Your liver processes this concentrated fructose almost exactly the same way it processes alcohol, creating inflammation and fatty deposits throughout your cardiovascular system. The American Heart Association quietly updated their recommendations and now suggests limiting fruit juice to just 4 ounces per day, but most people drink 8 to 12 ounces thinking they're doing something healthy for their heart. Are you drinking more than 4 ounces of fruit juice daily? Let me know in the comments, because awareness is the first step toward making better choices. Now, let me explain exactly what's happening inside your body when you consume these foods regularly, because understanding this process will help you make better decisions. Every time you eat high-sugar, processed foods, even ones with healthy labels, your blood sugar rises rapidly. Your pancreas responds by pumping out insulin to bring those sugar levels back down, but when this happens repeatedly day after day, your cells start to resist that insulin signal. This condition is called insulin resistance, and it's like a slow-acting poison for your entire cardiovascular system. Here's the devastating cascade that follows insulin resistance. Your liver starts producing more triglycerides, which are fats that circulate in your bloodstream, making your blood thicker and stickier. At the same time, those chronic blood sugar spikes are creating inflammation that damages your artery walls, making them rough and irregular, like Velcro that catches and holds onto that sticky blood. A groundbreaking 2021 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association tracked 12,000 adults over age 60 for 8 full years. The researchers found that people with the highest inflammatory markers, caused primarily by their daily food choices, were 60% more likely to suffer a heart attack or stroke. The terrifying part about this process is that it's completely silent. You don't feel your arteries getting damaged. You can't sense inflammation building up in your cardiovascular system. But your body is incredibly intelligent, and it does send warning signals if you know what to look for. If you're learning something new about how inflammation affects your heart, hit that like button to help spread this life-saving information to others who need it. Your body tries to communicate with you when something's going wrong, but we often dismiss these signals as just part of getting older. Here are the warning signs that dietary inflammation might be compromising your heart health right now. Energy crashes after meals are one of the most common early warning signs. If you feel completely exhausted 30 to 60 minutes after eating, especially after meals that include bread, pasta, rice, or sweet drinks, that's not normal aging. That's your cardiovascular system working overtime to deal with blood sugar chaos. Your heart is literally struggling to pump efficiently when your blood becomes thick and sluggish from repeated sugar spikes. Swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet is another sign that many people completely ignore. When your heart can't pump blood efficiently throughout your body, fluid starts backing up in your extremities. Most people blame this on standing too long, hot weather, or tight shoes, but persistent swelling that's worse in the evening could indicate that inflammation is affecting your heart's ability to do its job. Shortness of breath during activities that used to be easy is a red flag that shouldn't be ignored. If you're getting winded walking up stairs you used to climb without thinking, or if you find yourself pausing to catch your breath while having a conversation, your heart might not be getting the oxygen-rich blood it needs to function properly. Sleep disruption, particularly waking up frequently between 2 and 4 in the morning, can indicate blood sugar instability that's putting stress on your cardiovascular system. When your blood sugar drops during the night, your body releases stress hormones to bring it back up, and those hormones can jolt you awake and make your heart race. Cold hands and feet, even in warm weather, often signal poor circulation. When inflammation affects your blood vessels, circulation to your extremities gets compromised first. If your hands and feet are consistently cold, or if you notice they change color easily, it could mean that inflammation is affecting blood flow throughout your entire body. The encouraging news is that research shows reducing dietary inflammation can improve these symptoms in as little as 2 weeks. If you're experiencing any of these warning signs, please share this video with someone who cares about your health. Sometimes we need the people who love us to help us pay attention to what our body is trying to tell us. Here's what you can do, starting today, to protect your heart. These aren't extreme changes that will turn your life upside down. They're simple, practical swaps that work with your body's natural ability to heal and restore itself. Firstly, replace processed grains with real whole foods. Instead of whole grain bread and breakfast cereals, try steel-cut oats topped with fresh berries, or look for Ezekiel bread that's made from sprouted grains without added sugars. Even better, get your healthy carbohydrates from sweet potatoes, quinoa, or brown rice. These foods provide steady energy without the blood sugar roller coaster. A 2020 study published in Circulation Research found that people who made this single dietary change reduced their inflammatory markers by 23% in just 4 weeks. If you absolutely must have bread, look for brands with fewer than 5 ingredients, and you should be able to pronounce every single one of them. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment, put back on the shelf. Secondly, choose full-fat, unsweetened dairy products. I know this feels completely backwards after decades of being told that fat is the enemy, but the research strongly supports this approach. Choose full-fat, plain Greek yogurt, and add your own fresh berries for sweetness. The natural fat helps slow down sugar absorption and prevents blood sugar spikes, plus you avoid all the hidden sugars and artificial ingredients in flavor versions. If you don't tolerate dairy well, unsweetened coconut yogurt or almond yogurt work just as effectively. For milk, choose organic whole milk in small amounts or switch to unsweetened plant-based alternatives like coconut milk or almond milk. Just make sure they don't have added sugars or long lists of stabilizers and preservatives. Thirdly, hydrate with heart protective alternatives instead of fruit juice. Replace that morning orange juice with water infused with lemon slices, herbal teas, or if you're craving fruit flavor, eat the whole fruit instead. One medium apple gives you fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, and natural sugars that your body can process slowly and safely. 1 cup of apple juice gives you the concentrated sugar of 3 to 4 apples with absolutely none of the beneficial fiber that would protect your cardiovascular system. Green tea deserves special mention because it contains powerful compounds called catechins that research shows can reduce arterial inflammation by up to 30%. If you're not used to drinking tea, start with just 1 cup a day and work your way up. Here's what I want you to try for the next 2 weeks. Don't attempt to change everything at once because that's a recipe for failure. Pick just one of these 3 swaps, whichever feels most manageable right now, and commit to it completely. Research from a Mayo Clinic demonstrates that people who make gradual, sustainable changes are 40% more likely to maintain them long-term compared to those who try to completely overhaul their diet overnight. Which swap are you going to try first? Comment below and let me know because I read every single comment and I genuinely want to support you on this journey toward better heart health. You're not stuck with the health you have today. Even if you're 70, 80, or beyond, your body possesses an incredible ability to heal and restore itself when you give it the right tools and remove the obstacles that are causing damage. The truth is that age isn't your enemy, inflammation is, and you have far more control over inflammation than you might realize. These simple food swaps aren't about restriction, deprivation, or punishment. They're about working with your body's natural wisdom instead of fighting against it. Every small positive change creates momentum that builds on itself. Start with 1 swap, pay attention to how you feel, notice the differences in your energy and symptoms, then build from there. Your heart and your overall vitality will reward you for these choices. If this information was valuable to you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I share research-backed wellness strategies every single week that can help you live your absolute best life at any age. If you know someone over 60 who's been struggling with low energy, heart concerns, or any of the warning signs we discussed, please share this video with them. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do for the people we care about is share knowledge that could genuinely change or even save their life. Your health is your greatest wealth, and it's never too late to start investing in it properly. I'd love to hear from you in 2 weeks. Come back to this video and let me know how you're feeling after making these heart protective changes. Your success story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to find the motivation to get started on their own healing journey. Remember, small consistent actions lead to remarkable transformations, and your heart health journey starts with your very next meal choice.